10 of the world's most powerful banks just made a move that could change money forever. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Deutsche Bank, and others are joining forces to create a so-called unified stable coin. But don't be fooled by the buzzwords. This is not innovation, it's infiltration. What they're really building is the digital framework for the coming global control system that the Bible warned us about. This isn't just about currency, it's about control. Total, trackable, programmable control. And it is happening right now. Yes, it is.
You're watching The Big Picture.
All right, welcome in. As you can see, I'm not in my studio. Hope you can hear me, and everything looks good. I'm on my laptop in a hotel in Orlando, Florida, because I'm down here to preach tomorrow. So if you're watching this live on the 11th, October the 11th, Saturday night, and you're in driving distance to Orlando, come see me tomorrow at Judah Church in Orlando. Just go to judah.cc, judah.cc to find directions. I'll be there at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. All right, so it seems like every time I try to check the news, the beast system is exploding. I mean, it is like every day something is growing at an exponential speed towards what we know as Bible believers, those that look at the world through a biblical lens, the mark of the beast. All of our lives, if you were raised in church like me, you heard of the mark of the beast. And you couldn't imagine, because you had to process it by the technology that was available and the things that you knew then. So I remember when I was a young boy, hearing an evangelist come in and a missionary come in, and they would talk about this gigantic computer that was called the Beast, and it was this big building, and the computer was a building. Well, our minds would think that's it, that's it, that's it. Little did we know that the Beast system wouldn't be a gigantic building. It would be shrunk down to something the size of a phone or a watch or just a little chip, and it would be more powerful than an entire building that was the size, a computer the size of a building. Well, something else happened just this week. There was an announcement, and forgive me, I'm going to be looking over here at my notes here, and I'm going to show you an article. In fact, let's go to that article now. Let's see if I can pull this up. All right, here we go. So this is from Reuters Bank. This is actually yesterday when this was posted by Reuters.com. So this is why we talk about distractions all the time. While all the other chaos is going on, these things are happening behind the scenes. Major banks explore issuing stablecoin pegged to G7 currencies. Now, I want you to listen to the wording here of this. This is from Paris and London. 10 major banks, including the Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, and UBS, which is, of course, Switzerland. We talk a lot about Switzerland here, are jointly exploring issuing a stablecoin, the latest sign of traditional finance seeking to get to grips with the growth of digital assets. The group of lenders, which we've already said several of them, will work together to explore creating, listen, blockchain assets pegged to G7 currencies. Now, the project, which is in its early stages, will explore whether there is value in issuing assets on public blockchains, which are pegged one-to-one to real-world currencies, a type of cryptocurrency known as stable coins. Get that word in your mind, because you're going to hear it a lot. I'm telling you that stable coins is the beginning of a complete acceptance of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. The objective of the initiative is to explore whether a new industry-wide offering could bring the benefits of digital assets and enhance competition across the market while ensuring full compliance with regulatory requirements and best practice risk management. Now, let me share my heart on a few things here. Like I said, each coin, they're saying, is going to be matched one-to-one with the country's currency. So the US dollar, the stable coin, dollar stable coin, would be 1-to-1 value. They are promoting it on the blockchain, the public blockchain rails, which is, of course, where we have Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum. Many of you may have them as well. But there's the key. They're promoting it as so much more safe because it will be under bank control and regulatory insight. Their stated goal is to, quote, improve settlement speed, programmability. Did you hear that word? This is a direct quote from one of the articles. To improve settlement speed, programmability, and global interoperability. Now, that sounds harmless, but not to me and you. Every word that they're saying is very intentional and gives us a clue. We tell you all the time, if it's digital, it's programmable. If it's programmable, it's controllable. Okay? And that's what it's all about. It's all about moving us towards a CBDC to where everything is digital, all of your money is digital. Then you're going to have a social credit system. It's going to be tied to that digital currency. Stablecoin is, it's a test market. They're promoting this and saying, hey, this is not CBDC. This is bank regulated. This is tied to actual currency. This is not a CBDC. We're not digitizing your money. We're just trying to move your money faster. Remember, we always tell you, it's always going to make sense, and it's always going to be for your good and your convenience. But we know what that's really means. But what they're really trying to do is take another step towards a global currency. So you can't have an antichrist. You can't have a mark of the beast. That is truly like the word of God says. You can't buy or sell anywhere in the world unless you have the mark, unless there is a global currency. Well, in order to enforce that global currency, there has to be a global government. And just think about the Council of Peace that's just came into the picture here with Donald Trump and these multiple countries negotiating the deal between Gaza. It's getting really eerie here. Okay. Now, as I said, it's not CBDC yet. It's being called this stablecoin, but this is what other people are calling it, a synthetic CBDC. Okay. In other words, the banks issue it, but the central banks supervise it. It's like a public-private handshake, digital handshake. The private banks build the rails. The central banks ride in later and flip the switch. So I'm telling you, you're going to hear this is more secure. This is your money. Nobody can hack you. We need to put our encryption into this to protect your money. It is for your good. The mark of the beast is going to be promoted for your good as well. Now, the BIS bank calls this their, quote, unified ledger model. You keep hearing these words, unify, global. The IMF has openly said they're working towards a global CBDC platform. We've already talked about that. And then this is a part of the BIS Project Agora, connecting nations' payment systems into one programmable network. These are stated goals that many of these banks have said. So I think you and I both know that this is the skeleton. This is the foundational pieces for the global control grid, to where if you're not a good boy or girl and you don't obey the rules, the woke agenda or whatever, they just flip your money off. This is where it's going. When the day comes for a full CBDC rollout, they won't need to build anything new. It will already exist. I believe that the stable coin is the skeleton, is the door that they're building towards the global digital system, which of course is moving towards the mark of the beast. The only thing is they're going to need is the key. The key, they're building the door now. and then they're going to protect it with their encryption. But then they're going to say, wait a minute, there was one little tiny flaw. We need to fully digitize this and fully control it. So they're going to move it then, change the name of it to CBDC, and that's going to be the key that unlocks the door. Now, why are they doing this? They have, this is what they've said they're doing it. Quote, to modernize payments, speed up settlements, reduce fraud, and compete with cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrency, we've always known this was coming, has pushed the actual banks to try to create something to compete with the cryptocurrency. But the hidden reason is they want to eliminate competition from decentralized coins, and they want to replace cash. I think we all see that happening. That's already in play. I mean, cash is still accepted, but more and more places are saying no cash. In fact, there's countries around the world that have just about done away with cash completely. And when something is digital, that means every transaction, every purchase, every service that you buy, every gift that you get, your tithes and offerings to your church, everything will become traceable and programmable. And then, of course, if you're not good, then they could, when I say programmable, it doesn't just mean they can turn it off and on. They could approve you to pay for school tuition, but not approve you to give at your church, or not approve you to buy gas. They want to punish you and keep you at home. You can't buy gas, or punish you. You can only buy certain types of groceries. You know, when this system is in place, the system's already really there. When they start scanning, you know, the computer sees everything that you're buying. It's all on your receipt. Well, guess what? If you get punished, they'll say you can't buy meat anymore. Okay, we're going to restrict meat to you. So you scan the meat, you can't buy the meat, but you can buy something processed. Do you see where I'm going? So what does this mean to me and you prophetically? Well, Revelation chapter 13 talks about the mark of the beast, and it says that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark. Well, everything is moving towards that. This is not the mark of the beast, but this is another step towards it. I want to show you one more thing here to show you how fast things are growing and moving. This was Dateline yesterday as well. Elon Musk Neuralink says 10,000 patients have now signed up for his brain chip. Now I'm going to break that down, but what I want you to do first is I want you to go over to LarryRagland.com, to our brand new website. You'll see all of our videos. God is really blessing our channel. We've got a lot of new people watching us right now. We are so thankful. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the big picture. If you're new tonight, click the subscribe button, especially on YouTube, and join the big picture family. But what I want to do is I want to get you a free gift. When you go to LarryRagland.com, I want to talk to you about Elon Musk in just a minute, so don't go anywhere. Go to the yellow banner. You got prayer requests, but you also got right next to it, get your free gift. When you click on that, you're going to join our army. You're going to join the big picture family. It's a list called the Noah Generation. I'm going to put a free book in your hands. It's the ebook that I wrote called The Burning Generation. It's about the world that we're living in right now and what you've got to do to be equipped for what is coming. So you just put your name and your email in it. That's it. You're going to get a PDF. It's going to be sent to you. Download it, and you'll join our mailing list, and you'll be hearing from us really soon with some very special things just for people that's on that list. All right. So Elon Musk Neuralink says 10,000 patients have signed up for his brain chip. That's insane to me. 10,000 people have said, I'm ready. Elon Musk brain chip startup Neuralink has a backlog of 10,000 people hoping to get the brain-computer interface implanted into their skull, the company's president has said. Neuralink opened a patient registry on its website earlier this year, allowing people around the world to sign up for trials of the technology. There have already been 12 clinical trial patients who used the Neuralink devices to control computers with their thoughts. Are you hearing this? A further 13 people are expected to have the brain chip implanted by the end of this year. Only people living with paralysis from conditions like motor neuron disease or a spinal cord injury currently qualify for the trials. However, Mr. Musk claims that the future iterations of the brain chip will offer people without disabilities, listen, without disabilities to, quote, achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence. Are you here? This is coming straight from Elon Musk. The tech billionaire also says future capabilities could include streaming music directly to the brain, restoring vision to blind people, and enabling superhuman levels of communication through telepathy. It could even get to the point where you can upload your memories and essentially have a saved version of yourself, then download that into a robot body or a clone version of your original self. Mr. Musk, Elon Musk, said this during a live stream in July. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked this question. What is really left to invent for the beast system to be in play? What more needs to happen? Now, yes, I would agree there's probably fine-tuning of the development of the technologies, but there's really nothing new that has to be invented. We already have digital tattoos. Many of you have seen the videos where they're infecting the skin. We know that they have CRISPR technology now that can edit the DNA, the actual DNA strands of a human being, and change your molecular construction in your body that God put together. Of course, that ties into the fact that when you take the mark, something is going to happen to you in your bloodstream, because the life of the flesh is in the blood, that causes you to be non-redeemable. And of course, when you read the book of Revelation, it says the mark of the beast, and they worship the image of the beast. So in other words, the mark is going to be technology, but the mark is not really the only thing that's going to seal your fate. It's that you have surrendered your life and you begin to worship, and you make a complete vow of everything. You give your soul to the Antichrist. And during the tribulation period, when you take that mark, I believe something is going to go into your bloodstream. It's going to change your DNA, and it's going to alter your humanity. This is what happened with the Nephilim. This is what happened when the Watchers crossed the boundaries in Genesis chapter 6. And that's why all the world had to be destroyed, because they were tainted. Their blood was tainted. And only Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. He was the only pure blood there was. Well, Jesus said those days are going to return in the end times. So now you have the next step of the digital currency, because they know the world is not ready yet. It's getting close to just accepting a global currency. So some of these biggest banks, they say, okay, let's all come together. G7 countries, all the good guys is what they call themselves. The G7 is the most powerful governments on the West that's not in BRICS. BRICS has got their own digital currency they're working on. Same thing. But they're promoting this as this is not CBDC. Don't call it CBDC. It's not. This is just a more secure way of moving money, making transactions go faster. Please, I think we all know where this is going. It's not going to be long. Stablecoins is going to be a term that's just going to go like that. It's going to be gone. Then it's going to be CBDCs. And by the way, it's probably not even be called CBDCs. That's just the technical term for it. It's going to be called something catchy and cool. It's going to be, like an iPhone idea. It's going to be, iPhone. I mean, it's called iPhone. Okay, it's my phone. It replicates me. If you think about it, iPhone itself is idolatry, because it's making it all about you. But this coin is going to be a part of the mark of the beast. Then we have a digital currency. Then you have Neuralink inside your brain controlling. Because remember what he's saying? He's saying this is, see, if you're going to put something where you can download yourself, download your memories onto a hard drive, and then upload them into a robot or upload them into a clone, that's more. That's so much more than just a little thing put on your back of your brain to make your legs move. No, that's taking over. That's somebody that's made a deal with the devil somewhere. Just how, okay, we're going to get these people to somehow sell their soul to the devil or something, and we're gonna get permission to take over their humanity. That's where it's going. So if you're coming in late, it's just a quick show in the hotel room down in Orlando. I just said I got to get on here, and I got to tell people that in the coming weeks and months, I mean, by the end of this year, certainly 2026. I watched a video. I'm gonna say this real quick. I watched a video on the plane that I had downloaded. Probably gonna do a video about it sometime next week. But one of the biggest AI architects that is now, like a few of these that are going on these shows, just talking about the danger of it. He says he's looked at the timeline. Listen to this, 2027. That's just a little over a year, because we're almost in 2026 right now. He said by 2027, he actually says that he thinks unemployment in most functioning countries could be 80 to 85%. Yeah. I hope to God he's wrong. I'm praying in the name of Jesus that he's wrong. But we all know something bad is coming that's going to cause the whole world to say, somebody help us. This is all part of the narrative, taken away from the goodness of God, because it's going to call people to shake their fist at God. They're going to say, if you were such a loving God, how could you let this happen? And that's been the problem with man all along, is when bad things happen to us, we blame God. But we forget that God gave us free will and gave us the right to govern our own life. So God's not at fault here. He's already told us all this was coming. We're at fault. But the good news is we're still in this dispensation of grace in the church. And instead of being afraid and just wanting to check out, we can be empowered by knowing that our heart is right with God. If you don't know your heart is right with God, tonight would be a great, great, great night to do it. Thank you for joining me for this quick. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about stablecoin? Do you believe it's the new CBDC? Do you believe this is moving towards the mark of the beast? Or do you think I'm just full of it? Just give me your thoughts. I'm going to go back and read them all. All right. God bless you. If you're in Orlando, come see me tomorrow. But until next time, remember, we ain't woke, but we certainly are awake. God bless.
Help us build the big picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire big picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the big picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the big picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.